child, I am going to go live and ask parents of sensitive and neurodivergent kids to come onto the live so I can coach them directly. So you're going to witnessing me guiding parents directly on this video, on this live. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start an Instagram live, and I'm going to invite one or two of my followers for parenting support. If you are new to me, hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach and owner of HIC Parenting Education Agency. Let me stop. Somebody's been texting me a lot. My team of coaches and I have helped 14,151 parents bring peace to their parenting and raise emotionally healthy children. And that's the mission for this channel as well. So if you are a parent of a sensitive and neurodivergent child and you want to parent them with a lot more peace, then stay, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, because every week I upload new content. Okay, so I'm going to open the live. All right. Okay. So I'm trying to open the live right now. Yes. I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to live. I'm going to write the title. Live support. Helping a parent here. Update details. And then I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna turn on the lights. I hold this setup. My ADHD brain. I have ADHD, and sometimes it's hard to set up things before I start. So now I started and I'm setting up things. I do things kind of backwards sometimes, but it's okay. You guys forgive me, right? You guys forgive me? All right. So, let me see. Okay, I think we're done. Copy and then paste, and then let me start the live. If you are a parent of a sensitive or neurodivergent child and you want to parent them with a lot more peace, this live is for you, because I'm going to invite some of you to join me on this call, and I'm going to directly support you, one or two of you, today on this call. So if you want to join me on this live and get direct support from me, then my encouragement for you is to say, choose me on the comments, and then I will bring you to the live and I will directly guide you. Just say, choose me, and I will bring you to the live and I will directly guide you. At the other hand, if you're like, hey, I would love to get support, I would love to learn more about my parenting, but I don't know about going live with all these people, then at any point you can comment help one, and I will send you the link to our calendar where you can book a one-on-one parent assessment call. On this call, it is not a coaching session, it is an evaluation call where you're going to gain a lot of clarity about your parenting dynamic, about your needs, your particular needs, and of your children's needs, and where you want to be in your parenting 3 months from now. And at the end as well, if you want to continue with coaching, we'll sign you up at the end of the call. So if you want me to help you during this live, just say choose me. Otherwise, if you would like to have support in a more private setting, just comment help one, and I will send you the link to book a one-on-one parent assessment session We only have 12 spots, so if we don't have more spots available, we will let you know as well. So yeah. So just say choose me if you want to be on this call, and I will directly support you, because that's why I came here to help one of you or two of you directly. Just say choose me, and I will bring you on this live and I will help you directly. Otherwise, I don't know how I can help you right now. If you go, guys, if one of you doesn't come live, then I don't know how I would support one of you here on this call, on this live. So just say choose me. And if you have time, maybe you're not actively parenting your kids, maybe you have 15 to 20 minutes to give me and you don't mind to be on this live, just say choose me and I will choose you to come to the live and I will directly support you. What is the topic about? The topic about is that there is no topic. I'm asking one of you to say choose me so I can bring you to this live and I can directly guide you with anything you need. So the topic is really whatever thing you guys bring on. Whatever question, whatever thing that you guys need help with, I'm here to help you. But in order for this to happen, one of you or two of you need to be willing to come onto this live so I can directly help you. Okay. So Jace, choose me, Sam. Okay. Are you a father, Sam? Are you a father? If you need direct support from me right now, just say choose me and I will bring you on to this live and I will directly guide you. Okay, Sam, so I'm going to bring you onto this live. Let me see. Go live. Let me go live with you. Hi, Sam.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Sam.
Sam? Okay. Okay. Not Samuel? No, Sam.
Oh, just Sam.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How can I help you today?
So yeah, I've been following you recently. I've just become a father. I have a 4-month-old son.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I've been following your content and I thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you, Sam. I'm very curious. Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, okay. I'm in Phoenix, United States.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's awesome. Okay, so what do you want to get out of this time with me?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about sleeping patterns for my son.
Okay.
We're struggling with that a little bit. He is 100% breastfed right now. And his wake windows, we're trying to limit it to about 1.5 to 2 hours. So he does get some decent naps in the day. But my wife and I were struggling with just having him sleep slightly longer hours at night.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I can do for you and what I'm not qualified to help you with.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm a certified parenting coach, meaning that as a parenting coach, I support parents on their experience parenting their kids. I'm not a sleep consultant or a pediatrician to talk about sleep cycles or to talk about medical concerns when it comes to your child's sleep or what's appropriate in terms of his sleep habits. But what I can do is to help you and support you so you feel a lot more ease through this stage of your child's life. Okay. So now my question for you is, Do you want to be helped that way? If not, then it's okay. We can hang up and I could bring you another parent.
I think maybe you can bring another parent, but you can send me some information. And I don't mind if you can connect me to somebody or sleep consultant that you would recommend. I would be happy to connect with them.
We have a sleep coach in HIC parenting. Yes,
Okay.
I could connect you with that person.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.
So if you are a parent and you need help with yourself, with your own reactions, with the way that you are relating to your child, then say, choose me, and I will bring you on to this live and help you directly. Hi, everybody. Hi, Omaira. Okay, let's see. We have Melinda. Um, to go live. Hello, Melinda. How are you? Okay, so Melinda, I'm sorry, like you sound really far away. So I think that you have your earphone mode on. So if you could please put your earphones on or just take it off that mode, well, and turn your volume up because it's very low right now. Very far away, or maybe turn all the volume up. Okay. Are you able to talk? Are you able to talk without him hearing you? Okay. Oh, the connection is not great. Oh my goodness, the connection is not great for you. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to help you. Maybe later in a little bit when you're able to fix your connection issues. So as for now, I'm going to hang up and then I'm going to um, invite somebody else. But I don't know how to get you off this live. Hi, technology. It's me, alive. Let me see. Maybe I can go back to your. Um, no. So somebody else said, choose me. Okay, I'm going to choose this other person. It's been rocky here. I don't know what's going on with the connection. But I already invited somebody else. Hopefully I can. This is the winner. Hopefully this is the winner. I really want to help one of you. I really want. And if you're like, hey, I would love to have an assessment myself, but this stage, I don't know. I would prefer this to be one-on-one. Then come and help one. And I'll send you a link to my calendar, to our calendar in HIC Parenting to book a one-on-one parent assessment session. This is not a coaching session to get advice. It's an evaluation session where you will learn a lot about your needs, your particular dynamic, and what you need to move forward. So just come and help one, and I will send you the link to book your one-on-one parent assessment session. As for now, I'm going to choose another person who said choose me. Okay, somebody says unable to join. Let's see. Vane Lopez 2007. Do you deal with the same thing that she was talking about? Do you deal with the same thing that your son is sent home? Valerie, how do I know if I'm helping or making things worse for my child? Valerie, are you willing to go on the live? If yes, say yes, choose me. I want to help you see if you're if you're on the right track. Um, just say choose me. My intention with this session is to help one of you. So go live. Let's see. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, where are you at?
Hi.
Are you at work?
Yes, I'm on my lunch break.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
My name is Valerie. I actually work at a school, so I deal with children all day, but for some reason I have a hard time with my own kids at home.
And you know what? As I understand that because we have clients who are counselors, therapists, and who say, "Hey, I know exactly what to do in session with kids, but when it comes to my kids at home, things get different." Okay.
I definitely agree. So my son is high functioning autistic and he has ADHD, and so he gets in trouble a lot at school. And so I get a lot of phone calls from his school about mostly about the way he responds and how he reacts when he is corrected or told no. And so I'm not sure what to do at this point. We've tried just giving him certain tools and skills to use, different maybe words to say to the teachers that doesn't make him sound so disrespectful. But one of the things with kids on the spectrum is they are very blunt on what they say. And so the fact that he's getting in trouble over that is really hard because I have to be understanding that, you know, he doesn't realize he's coming off as rude, but for an adult, it sounds rude when he's saying things. So especially because he has a hard time managing his emotions when he's really upset, it's really extreme. When he's really sad, it's really extreme. And so I'm not sure how to help him at school when I'm not there.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you have concerns about the school staff training on understanding his needs?
I do for not all, but for the teachers, some of the teachers he's come across for sure. I feel like, well, in my head, I'm like, well, do you know anything about kids with autism or ADHD? Because if you did, I mean, just in my personal view, I would think, well, you would understand that talking a lot is something that a kid with ADHD is going to do because they have no control over it. They don't even realize that they're doing it. So I'm unsure whenever I have this 504 meeting what to even ask for other than a lot of patience, a lot of understanding, and a lot of positive redirecting. And when I say positive redirecting, I mean the words that we're choosing to use when redirecting him. Um, and so one of the things I ask for as a parent is, okay, it's okay. Like, I understand he has to be held accountable. I totally agree. I want him to be accountable. However, can we choose better words on when doing that? For instance, instead of saying no, stop, or don't, can we say, hey, I can see that you're really enjoying doing this. However, how about we come back to it after we do XYZ? And so I just want to know how do I tell the teachers that? Or is that even the right way to do it?
Okay, Valerie is your name, right?
Yes.
So one thing that I want to say is that I can tell you're a very educated parent on your autistic son's needs. You don't see a child trying to disrespect anyone. You see a child who processes information differently and relates to the world differently. So just the fact that you are highly educated on his needs makes you a great advocate for him. So when you're asking me, how do I tell them this? Exactly how you told me this. Now, I have a question for you because our bread and butter here in HIC parenting is working with parents of highly sensitive and neurodivergent kids. And after working with so many parents, I see that there is a common thing for us, parents of children who relate differently, to have a concern of feeling as misunderstood in parent meetings as our children feel misunderstood, being cared in that environment. You know exactly what you need to say, but I'm just curious if you have that fear and concern that you are going to tell them exactly what you're telling me right now, and you are going to feel as misunderstood as he is right now.
Yeah, I do. And it's so funny because when I speak with my husband about it, I have to ask him, am I wrong? Am I making excuses for him? Am I, because I do wonder that. I wonder if he takes advantage because he does, first of all, he doesn't know he's autistic or has ADHD. And that's a decision that I made because I didn't want him, one, to feel different. And I didn't want him to use it as a crutch, kind of like, oh, well, I can just say this and I can get away with this. Because kids are very smart, whether on the spectrum or not. I believe they're very smart. They know what they're doing. And so sometimes he's in situations to where I have to ask myself, okay, is this because of his, the way he works in his mind, or is he just trying to get his way? So it's so hard to kind of decide whenever an incident happens at school. Okay, did he do this, one, because he just didn't want to listen, or two, because he didn't process that the way someone else would have. So I think that's where I'm having a hard time, because then I'm like, well, I don't know when to step in and advocate or step aside and let him be corrected and taught to be held accountable.
Okay, so now I see a few different things. Mm-hmm. Am I making excuses for him for yes. explaining his needs to others? Is he taking advantage of, if I go and advocate for him, then he's going to see that as mommy comes and helps me, so I'm going to take advantage of the situation. And you don't want him to know he's autistic because you believe that if he does know he's autistic, he's going to use it as a crutch to excuse poor behavior.
For bad behavior. And I don't know if that's wrong, and maybe it's wrong. Like, I'm not sure. And I don't even think if I had that conversation with him, he would understand what that means.
So let's reframe. Let's reframe the intention for this session, because I think it took a different turn. It went from how do I explain to them his needs, to I don't even know if I need to do this call, if I need to do this meeting with them. So what do you want to get out of this time with me?
I guess is there a difference? Is there, like, how can you tell the difference on whether a kid, on the spectrum is doing something while knowing that they're fully aware of what they do or not? Because then I would need to know, okay, then I should correct him, or I should help him, kind of like there needs to be some, I hate using the word consequences, but of me to step in and kind of just like, or step out, kind of like, okay, he deserves that punishment of, this happened, now he has to deal with this, because that's how real life is. So I'm not really sure when to do that, because I'm not sure if it's some of the choices he makes is because it's willing or not. It's just because of his neurodivergent mind. Okay. I can't tell the difference.
Okay, so you want to have clarity about if his behaviors are due to his diagnosis or if he's choosing to behave a certain way.
Yes.
Okay, and I see, okay, so that's what you want, and I see something else as well.
Okay.
That I want to explore, if you allow me. And it is your belief that I see right now that if he is choosing to behave a certain way because he's choosing to behave that way, then advocating and explaining others his needs is not a good thing to do. You believe that. Okay. Is it okay if I explore that belief?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's just play it out, Valerie. Let's just say that it is true. Your child deliberately did not listen. Even he heard, and he was like, no, I heard you, but I'm still not gonna do this.
Yes.
What does that say about him?
That he doesn't want to. He just, I mean, I feel like we do that as adults. Like, we just say, no, I don't want to.
Okay. When somebody tells you to do something and you choose not to do it, is there always a reason why you choose not to do something?
Sometimes I just don't want to.
Okay. When you say I just don't want to, is there always a reason for why you don't want to do certain things?
Most of the time, yes. I guess that small portion of no would be just because I'm tired or I just don't want to.
So you have needs. Okay. When was the last time that you chose not to do something that you were supposed to do?
It's a really long time. I always do what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
I guess because that's the way I was taught. Like, you just do it.
Okay.
You don't question it. You just do it.
Oh, okay. So now we're unraveling something. You grew up in a blind obedience environment.
Yes.
And then if your son is exercising his autonomy, then he needs to be consequenced if he is not choosing to listen. Is okay. Oh. Okay. So you see.
And I don't want that for him. Like, and I don't. So that's why I'm like, well, what do I do? Because that's the only way I know how. And so when something is not that, then I'm just like, wait, it's not supposed to work that way. Because, the way I was brought up, and the way society is. Like, I know at school right now, they left a little note in his backpack that says, just say okay. Like, just say okay. And I'm like, but that's really hard for him. And I'm like, so what do I do? I can't make excuses for him, but again, at the same time, he does need to follow these rules that the school has.
Okay, so would you allow me to give you my insight? I think we already unraveled a few things here.
Okay.
So it is clear now that you grew up in an environment that you were expected to follow instructions without question on the first try. And if not, then you were consequenced, and then you were believing I'm doing the wrong thing by not listening to you right away. Okay?
Yes.
So now, because of that past, you are really struggling right now to advocate for your child. Because of that, like if he's an instruction and he's choosing not to do it, then he must be consequenced. When it comes to neurodivergent kids, by the way, I don't know if you know, I'm autistic and I have ADHD.
Yes,
so
yes.
and the balloons went up every time I do this.
That's cool.
And Valerie, regardless if I heard you or not, things come up differently for me and for your son. So let me give you an example. They tell him, hey, now it's time to stop doing this activity, and then we're going to move on to the next one. And he heard the teacher loud and clear, but he still chose to keep doing the current activity. Well, there is something when it comes to neurodivergent kids, autistic kids, that's called autistic inertia. Autistic inertia is the need or the inability or challenge of stopping or starting an activity. So I could, for sure, highly hear I could very clearly hear my husband saying, we're leaving in 5 minutes, and I will still have a really hard time wrapping up what I'm doing to leave in 5 minutes, because sometimes I deal with that autistic inertia. It's not as pronounced now that I'm an adult and I have more skills. But when I was a kid, it was very pronounced. So that being said, even if he chooses not to listen, he functions differently.
Yes.
And it's important for the teachers to understand how he functions. And the answer is not about consequencing him. It's about setting up the environment and the support system so he is capable of thriving in that particular environment. For example, my son, he has autism and ADHD, the hyperactive type, and he cannot sit still. He can't. So we were able to put systems in place for him in the classroom. By the way, he goes to public school. So in his plan, you have to leave it in writing the things that could help him. For example, for my son, it is sitting in wobble chairs really close to the teacher, having a lot of breaks, and having very short breaks in between to help him with his autistic inertia, to give him extra time to finish tests and tasks, and to go earlier to eat lunch, to leave a little bit later. And none of that means that we are enabling them. We are basically providing the environment so his support needs are met. If your child were in a wheelchair, you would appreciate the school having ramps so he can go to the second floor a lot easier. Yes. So it is the same thing when it comes to our neurodivergent kids. We need to build those ramps for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, honestly and sadly, they see him and they're like, because he's high functioning, he looks completely like, he looks fine. They're like, oh, he's fine. He doesn't need that. I'm like, but he does. He's fine because we've worked with him so much since he was little, and he does play therapy. So that looking fine is on the outside, not necessarily on the inside. And the inside, he still struggles. He's just masking it so well. And because he's learned to cope with his environment that, and I just want to say, like, school is not made for kids with, neurodivergent minds. It is not, and so every single day he has to go to school anxious already, like overstimulated, and just like, I have to be a rule follower. And I hate that for him because I think myself, wow, I would feel exhausted. I would feel very emotional. I would feel so many expectations. And so whenever I had these meetings with his teachers, I was like, all I'm asking, and it's so sad that I have to ask adults for a little bit more grace for my kid, a little more patience, a little more thinking outside the box, and a lot of understanding. But I guess the feedback that I'm getting is, well, maybe you should just teach him to learn to say okay. And I'm like, but I need my kid to advocate for himself, in a respectful way, of course. And so I guess that's why I started to, reflect and start asking myself, is it me? Am I the problem? Am I over advocating for him? And so I think that's what I've been thinking about over the past few days is, am I doing the right thing?
Valerie, do you know that that's the effect of gaslighting? When we are gaslighting is when our needs are denied, when we express to someone, I need this or I have this, and they're like, no, you're fine, you're crazy, you're overreacting, you're dramatic, you're like, you're overprotecting him. That's gaslighting.
I've been told that I coddle.
Yes. Like, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna finish my thought. So the effect of gaslighting is us questioning our own sanity. Like, maybe I'm overprotecting him. Maybe I'm over advocating for him. Maybe I'm coddling him. Maybe I'm overreacting over this. So it is important for you to recognize that you're being gaslighted. And number two, call it out and let them know that that they're gaslighting you, and tell them what it is. And you can advocate for your child. I know it's tough. I'm an autism mom, and sometimes it is hard to educate people who don't want to be educated. It's different to educate someone who's asking for it, who is curious, but somebody who's not even curious and who works directly with our kids, it's way harder. So keep giving the fight. Your child depends on you to fight for him, because right now he cannot advocate for himself. You are his advocate. So now I have a question for you that I think we are wrapping up this time together. My question for you is, you came asking, am I making excuses for him? I'm asking you that. You're asking yourself, I'm going to ask you back that question. Are you making excuses for your son?
I don't believe I am. I don't.
Okay.
I'm just fighting for what my kid needs.
Yeah.
To be successful.
Valerie, I have another question for you. Is your son taking advantage of your advocacy for him?
I don't think so. I honestly, I don't believe he is.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I have one last question. What happens if you tell him today he's autistic? What do you think may happen?
I think he'll have a lot of questions for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, I think he would just have a lot of questions.
Can I challenge you on that regard?
I think he would just be like, oh, okay, and just move on from it.
Can I challenge you on that regard? Okay. Mm-hmm. How I said, in HIC parenting, we work with a lot of neurodivergent families, and this is something that we help parents with like being emotionally prepared to break the news to their kids. Yeah. And that's where I wanted to go. If he doesn't know yet, it is not because he doesn't need to know, it's because somehow you have not been emotionally prepared to support him through that truth about him. Yeah. Okay, I want to tell you a fact that it is based on research. Research has shown time to time again that when we disclose our autistic kids or kids with different conditions, their diagnosis, and explain to them what it is, they will feel more understood. They won't feel alone. They won't feel like they're weirdos, that they will feel that they belong and that they are understood. That's research. From my experience as an autistic person, I grew up undiagnosed. So I knew I was autistic at 37 years old. And all my life, talking about my childhood and my teenage years, I grew up feeling I was a weirdo. There was something wrong with me, that I was just not lovable, just because I didn't have a truth behind it. Do you want your son to feel that way?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
So my question for you is, how can you help yourself to be emotionally ready to break the news to him today or the next days? Like no more than a week, this week.
Mm-hmm. I have to be, because I overthink everything. I really do. I think about all the outcomes. I think honestly, just I've always thought if I should, and I think the only thing that held me back was, well, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean in life? You know? And so I have been doing my research on like grown-ups who have autism and live great lives, and just being more prepared with the answers he's gonna ask. Like, what does that mean? I can and cannot do. I want my kid to believe he can do anything, regardless of his circumstances. I don't like to call them circumstances, because I just think that it's just you can do anything anyone else can do. You just might do it a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. And so getting words like that, sentences exactly like that, prepared and ready for those questions.
So I heard you say that yes, you do need to work on yourself to be emotionally prepared to
Yes.
answer those questions. Because the fact that he doesn't know does not mean he's not asking himself those questions.
Yes, he's just not asking them out loud.
Yeah, exactly. So we would rather him ask him to you than just making conclusions on his own and potentially hurting his self-esteem of like, oh, like because I work differently, that means I'm a weirdo and I'm not lovable and I'm a bad kid. Especially if they are in that not support environment at school.
Yes.
My son knows, as like the day he got diagnosed, that day my husband and I told them with the therapist, with the psychiatrist on the call. And he's been
he okay? Was he fine, or was he just like, well, what is? I mean,
he was like,
I think what my biggest fear is that I don't want him to, I guess, like feel sorry for himself because I feel like it's nothing to feel sorry for.
oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay, so that's then now what we see here is what you believe about autism.
Okay, yes.
What do you believe? What do you believe about autism? You're saying that I don't, because I think that's something you should be feeling sorry for. What do you believe autism is for you? For you, is autism bad or good?
I think autism is neither bad or good. It's just the type of person they are.
Okay, that's great. Now my question for you, if it is not bad nor good, why is it something that you should be feeling sorry for if it's not bad nor good?
I think I feel that way because of how others will kind of, treat him or single him out. Because I mean, I work at a school and I see sadly these kids that have, dyslexia or ADHD, and they honestly, teachers have less patience for them and they're labeled like those difficult kids, and I'm like, oh, I don't want him to
now your son is having those challenges regardless if he's been openly diagnosed or not. He is who he is and he's going to show those traits to people regardless if he has the diagnosis or not.
I never saw it that way.
So right now possibly he's making up a story of why he's having those challenges, and that story could be I'm a bad kid. But what about if the story is different? What about if the story is, hey, this is part of my autism diagnosis, and how you say is no bad nor good. It's just part of who he is.
So whenever I do tell him, should it just be that, like, it's not anything bad or good? It's just your mind is just different than. I mean, I don't like to use the word different. It just thinks differently. You see things how sometimes you're gonna see things that no one else sees, and that's gonna be okay and might help you in the long run. Honestly.
With my son, we told him about all the amazing things he does.
Yeah.
That are very particular to him, that we love and that he loves about himself. Like he's able to memorize a full, like, I don't know, he's able to remember things not many people can remember. That's amazing. Yes. So we told him everything, what the great things he does, plus his needs as well. And then when we were talking to him about his needs, we told him how he can advocate for his needs. So he sees them as needs, not as there is something wrong with me. It's different.
Yes. And that's the point where honestly I want to get to. I do want to get to that point. And I think that, honestly, once we do tell him, and we do, I mean, I definitely plan to tell him, he will feel more like relaxed of like, okay, I'm not a bad kid. Like, I don't have to hold myself to like such high expectations. I'm just going to do my best with who I am, and that's going to be enough. I really want him to get to that place of more calm and relaxed and not, I guess, trying so hard.
Okay. It could go that way, and he could live a process of grief as well. I lived it. And I think it's very normal for anyone to go through a process of grief after getting big news like this. So now the question is, are you emotionally prepared to go through that process of grief with him. The process of grief comes with questioning, and it comes with anger, and it comes with sadness, and it comes with bargaining, like, why me, why not my brother, why not my cousin? That's the bargaining stage.
So I think I'm at a point right now, because he was diagnosed when he was like 3. He's 9 now. I think I went through all the stages of like accepting, grieving, but also learning. In the meantime, I've learned, I've studied, I've researched, I've talked to people, and I'm like, help. I want to learn how to help him. And I want him to know how to help himself. I think I'm like at the end of that, just that sadness part, like, like it's gonna be, probably you're gonna have really hard times, and in life, but honestly, that's life, and I want you to learn how to problem solve and cope during those times. So I don't know why I've been so nervous, because I'm like, okay, I'm on board. We can do this.
Because you are fearing his big emotions. You told me very clearly, I want him to feel relaxed and just receive it as peaceful as possible. What about if he doesn't receive the relaxed and peaceful?
Yeah,
What about if he has
big?
You don't want to make him sad, and you know what? Do you know what? You are not making him sad. It's part of his grieving process, and you are fully capable of containing his sadness. You are fully capable. Matter of fact, it is safer for him to contain his sadness with you than to stuff it in and just be sad for a long, long time, not knowing what's going on with him. So when you tell him, he will get that sadness and confusion and whatever feelings out to you, but you need to be emotionally ready to receive those feelings. I just want him to be happy and to be calm. That's our desire, but that's not our job as parents. Our job as parents is not to make our kids happy. Our job as parents is to be right next to them through whatever situation and feeling they're going through, regardless if it feels uncomfortable, especially if it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you ready to be uncomfortable and welcome those big emotions if they come?
I like to think I'm a person that it's kind of like, you have to do what you have to do sometimes, and knowing the fact that it's not the end of the world, like, we're gonna get through it. I tell him that all the time. Hey, today was rough, but there's always tomorrow. We'll try again tomorrow. It'll be better tomorrow, and maybe it won't be, but even if it's not, like, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Valerie, let's go back to the intention to wrap it up. So it started with an intention of I want to know what to say, and then it changed to I want to know if I even have to do this meeting, and that was kind of like the set intention. So where did we land when it comes to the intention with me today of gaining clarity if you should even do the meeting or not?
Yeah, I think it just brought a whole bunch of like clarity, and not only that, a little bit more direction and a different perspective, like from his view as the kid who has like autism and ADHD. And I think I needed that, because as his mom, I want to figure out all his problems, and I can't do that. But I'm not sure how he's perceiving it on his end. So, like you said, well, he might not react that way. And I'm like, oh, he might not, I guess as a mom, I'm always like used to being prepared on how you're going to respond. And he's my one kid that I'm not sure ever how he's going to respond or receive things. So it did bring a lot of clarity. But also it made me want to like research the what did you call it? The autistic and
inertia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanna read all on that so I can better prepare myself. So whenever I do have this conversation with him, kind of our goal, of course, is always to be, we do this together as a family, with as much knowledge and support and understanding and patience and grace as possible.
Valerie, I have an invitation for you because we were here just 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes, look how you went from nervous, I don't know what to do, to I have a lot of clarity just by this little time with me. That's the power of coaching. That's not what you get in social media reading posts. You only get that with the interaction with a professional who understands neurodivergent needs.
Yes.
So I have an invitation for you. We are offering parenting assessment calls. This is a one-on-one free call with me or a member of my team, one of our experts. And on that call, we are going to evaluate your entire parenting dynamic. So on this time with me, we only touched on, should I go to the IEP meeting or should not go, like very specific thing. But on that call, we are going to evaluate more overall your parenting dynamic with your son. Would you be interested in booking a call like this?
Yes, most definitely. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, Valerie, and to all the people who are on this live, that if you comment right now, help one, you can comment right now, help one. I will send you a link to our calendar where you can book your free one-on-one parent assessment call. This parent assessment call is not a coaching session, it is an evaluation where you're going to gain clarity about your parenting dynamic. You're going to understand your needs and your son's needs a lot more. And you're going to have a lot more clarity about what to do to be the parent your child needs, considering his needs. How I said, it's not advice, it's for you to gain clarity. It's an evaluation. And at the end, if you want to keep the support, we will sign you up as a coaching client. So for you and for all the ones who are on this live, if you are interested in this one-on-one parent assessment call with a member of our team, just comment help one, and we will send you the link to the calendar where you can book a call like this.
I just commented on
it. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to help another parent, and thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you so much for your time.
Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. I love helping parents of neurodivergent kids, parents of sensitive kids. If you want to come onto this live to help you detangle things in your parenting, just say, choose me, and I will bring you on to this live. And ask Valerie, I will help you. So if you need parenting support, and if you're on this live, possibly you do, just comment, choose me, and I will bring you onto this live, and I will help you the same way I did with Valerie. Hi, Crystal, Eva. It's so insightful just to hear your talk. Keep inspired. Thank you. Do you need parenting support, Archita? If yes, say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live. Esther, if you need parenting support, just say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live. I want to help another parent before I go. If you need parenting support, just say, choose me, and I will bring you onto this live. Hold on, I'm gonna. Hi, Chantel. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is that I'm doing parenting assessments. So I want to support one of you. If you are interested on coming to this live, and for me to support you directly, just say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live and help you directly. If you want to do it in a private setting, then comment help one, and I will send you the link to book a 101 free parenting assessment call with a member of my team, where you're going to gain a lot of clarity about your parenting dynamic, your needs, your children's needs, and what you need to move forward. And at the end, of course, if you want to continue with coaching, we'll sign you up as a coaching client. Otherwise, if you want me to help you directly here, just say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live, and I will help you directly. Hello, regularly Natalia. How are you? If you need parenting support, just say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live, and I will help you directly. Otherwise, if you want to have your parenting assessment in a private one-on-one setting, just comment help one, and I will send you the link to our calendar where you can book a free one-on-one parenting assessment session with a member of our HIC parenting team. Hi, Joyful Moon, how are you? If you need parenting support, just say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live and help you directly. Otherwise, if you want the help, comment help one, and I will send you the link to our calendar where you can book a free one-on-one parenting assessment call, where you are going to gain a lot of clarity about your parenting and your needs. Hello, Anna. How is it going? How are things going? Aurelian, hi. Omotolas Fabrics. Okay, I think that's a corporate name. I'm gonna drink water. I'm here available for you guys. Request to joins. I have to request to joins. Let me see. I don't know. You can request to join as well. How can I help you today, Anna? Shima, how can I help you? Or Aureliana? I want to help one parent. One more parent. I'm just done helping one parent of an autistic child. If you need help, just say choose me, and I will bring you onto this live, and I will help you directly. Otherwise, comment help one, and I will send you the link to book your private one-on-one parenting assessment call, where you are going to gain a lot of clarity about your particular parenting dynamic, your needs, and of course, if you want to continue with coaching with us, we will sign you up at the end. Or if you want to come onto this live and get help from me, just say choose me, and I will bring you on to this live, and I will help you. Lele Motsatsi. Ye Perez, how are you? Heldich Jinte Brown. Brown Bunny. Still Z. Hi. How can I help you today? I'm here available to help one of you. I was just done helping one parent. I want to help another one before I start lunch for my twins that they're in not summer break, in fall break. Tali, how is it going? Jill Galvin. How can I help you today? Okay, so for the ones who are new, I want to help one parent. If you want to come onto this live, say choose me and I will bring you on and I will help you directly. Detangle anything that you have, anything in your parenting. Otherwise, if you want to have a one-on-one private session with a member of our team, just comment help one and I will send you a link to book your one-on-one free parenting assessment call. On this call, it is not for advice, it's to gain clarity about your parenting dynamic and what we can do to move forward with you. I'm going to write it again. Comment. Oh. Hold on, I'm writing another comment. There. I'm gonna unpin this comment and I'm gonna pin this. Okay, so I see somebody. Almost 3-year-old bedtime is such a struggle, ends up in him hitting, screaming, and running away. Okay, let's unravel this. Would you be willing to come onto this live so I could ask you more questions and see what's going on at bedtime? Jacquelina, if you want to come onto this live, all you have to do is say choose me and I will bring you on and support you directly in anything you need in your parenting. Okay. Let me see. You're moving fast. Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Marcela.
Marcela. So you have a 3-year-old and it's tough bedtime.
Yeah, I think it's extra hard at bedtime, but right now we're dealing with a lot of screaming. Like when he gets frustrated, he just screams at the top of his lungs, like a high-pitched scream, and then we're dealing with some hitting, and then also just like at times it will just like escalate into, I feel like he can't, like I tell him to try to calm himself down, but that just like agitates him more and he ends up like screaming and even more. So
Okay. So 3-year-old at bedtime, he fights to fall asleep and then he screams. He ends up screaming and hitting, frustrated. And when you tell him to calm down, he gets more frustrated and then he hits more. Okay, so I understand. What do you realistically want to get out of this little time that you have with me? And I'm saying realistically, Mariela, because coaching is usually a process of days and weeks. Sometimes it's months. So on this little time that you have with me, realistically, what do you want to get out?
I guess I'm just curious how to diffuse when there's like a big blow up of emotions with hitting, screaming, kicking, and it seems like, I can't get him to calm down. Like he doesn't know how to calm down. So any suggestions on the best way for me to like kind of navigate and diffuse that in the moment?
Okay. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions. These questions are not to judge you. I work with parents every single day, and it is to understand more your dynamic and, more importantly, to understand your beliefs and what's inside your subconscious mind. Would you allow me to go deep?
Yeah.
Okay. The second thing is that I might challenge your thinking. So I encourage you to keep an open mind and to be willing to take on the challenge. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let's start with the mindset. How to diffuse? I'm very curious. What do you believe about what it is diffusing? What do you mean by diffusing?
I guess just being able to bring those emotions back down. Like, I try to tell him, like, I don't understand why it has to get to this. Like, if I just ask him, like, let's put on your PJs or let's go pee pee, it leads to this, like, blow up. And then I'm feeling super dysregulated as myself as well. And then it's like, so I guess for me, diffuse would be like for myself to also not get frazzled and, my emotions all, I don't know. I guess, yeah. And for him to be able to just kind of like bring it down a notch.
Okay. So for you, diffusing means to know how to manage your frustration so it doesn't transfer to him. Is that what you're telling me? Okay. So I want to know what it looks like when you're escalated, because you say, I want to know how to diffuse it for myself so I can manage my emotions when I'm feeling frustrated and don't take it onto him. So for you, when you are there, how does that look like?
It looks like me screaming. I'm like, stop it. And I hate like just repeating myself. Like, so, it always starts off calm. I try to not engage. I try to just keep repeating, like, we got to get ready for bed. We got to get ready for bed. And it's like, it leads to like, no, running away. Okay, I wait. I try to play. And then it's like, it's a buildup, right? Because then I'm starting to get frustrated little by little because every task is like not being listened to. And so then then I start to scream like, okay, enough, it's time to get our PJs on. And so then my voice starts to go up. And I just feel like I keep repeating myself, like just saying, stop it, don't do that, and I even hate like hearing myself. And I'm like, if I hate it, I'm sure he must hate it, like that constant, like almost nagging of like screaming the same thing over and over. So yeah, and then eventually sometimes it leads to me having to like physically grab him and like kind of like pin him and put on PJs, like, I mean, bedtime's a huge example just because it leads to tasks that we have to do to get to bed because we're always getting to bed so late. So yeah, and then it ends up, and then at that point, he's lost it and I've lost complete control, I feel like, of the situation.
Okay. So you keep repeating yourself and you're in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't like this either. Like I'm annoying myself with how much I'm repeating. And then it makes sense why, like if it annoys you, it makes sense why he doesn't respond well to that. But I have a question. When you say like it all starts calm and like try to be playful and then to kind of like work with him. When you say that you start calm, is it that you really start feeling calm, connected, happy, welcoming the moment, the bedtime moment, or is it that you're trying to show up calm?
A little bit of both. So sometimes I actually am like I'm in a playful mood. I'll try to play with him. Like I really go into it, like with that mindset and that feeling. But other times, yes. Other times I'm just like, okay, you can do this, like, and I'm putting on that like calm voice and that calm face.
But inside you are feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, kind of waiting for the blow up to happen.
Yeah, I think inside I'm feeling anxious, awaiting, like waiting. Okay, how's this gonna go? Like for me, bedtime is a very anxious time, especially,
Thank you for sharing. Marcela, are those the days that are a little harder for you to settle him down when you are more anxious inside? The days that you're more anxious inside, or are all the days tough?
No, not all the days. Like actually, we had a really good day yesterday.
Okay, so what was different when things are well? What is different there?
I do think like my state of being is different. Instead of, like you said, are you trying to be calm, or are you feel calm? I think it's the days that I feel calm and happy and light and a little more carefree, is when we have some really good days.
So there is a direct correlation between your level of regulation entering the bedtime to how he responds to bedtime.
Yeah. Yes.
Tell me, what's going on in your head?
Well, I'm just thinking like, yes, in the back of my mind, I already know this, but at the same time, it's like, I can't always enter bedtime that way because of life and stress. And, sometimes we maybe went out to dinner and got home a little later than we expected. And so we don't have all that carefree time. It's like we got to get ready for bed, and sometimes it could be not necessarily with bedtime. It could be I don't know, he himself is having a bad day and having some tantrums, I don't know, and out of nowhere I feel out of nowhere it goes into this big blow up. And so
but we're right now processing bedtime.
Okay.
So Marcela, so there is a direct correlation, very clear direct correlation between your level of nervous system regulation and his ability to settle down for bed. Because you say that when you are regulated, and regulated is not talking calmly, is not trying to be playful, is you feeling regulated, then those days are usually, they go a lot better than when you enter the situation not regulated. And then you say, well, it's tough for every day to enter the situation regulated because things happen throughout the day. So I have a question about that, because I think we know the path. The path is that the more regulated you are at bedtime, the better things go. That's the fact that we are unveiling right now. And it is a reality as well that life stressors happen, and sometimes you get home late and then you are not entering a lot of the, like there are some times that you don't enter the bedtime feeling that regulated because other stressors happen. Okay? So before we move forward, I want to, if you allow me, educate you why this happens. Okay? So it is simple. Children 7 and under connect to our nervous system. They don't connect to what we say, they don't connect to what we do, they connect to how we feel inside. So we can be playful and talking calmly, but we're anxious, they're going to pick up on that. And they're going to get anxious as well. So what happens with anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling as any other, but what happens is that anxiety is a feeling that warns us about something bad is about to happen. That's what anxiety comes to tell us. Feelings are little messengers that come to our body to tell us something. But what happens with that feeling? When that feeling comes and warns us about something is about to happen, it puts our nervous system into high alert. And then the nervous system sends signals to the brain, and the brain backs up the nervous system to be on high alert. And how does the brain that? Releasing cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and releasing adrenaline, which is, our hormone that helps us with mobilizing energy. So why is this important to know? In order for somebody to settle down and bring on sleep, they need two hormones. Hormone number one, they need melatonin, and hormone number two, they need these little balloons always go up every time I do this. And hormone number two, they need oxytocin. Oxytocin is, they call it the connection hormone that happens with connection, and it helps us feel really sleepy. That's why when we breastfeed our babies, we get really sleepy because we release oxytocin to be able to produce milk. And oxytocin helps us fall asleep and feel connected, the same as melatonin. So why am I telling you all this? Melatonin and oxytocin, which are the two hormones for sleep, are counteractive when cortisol and adrenaline is present. So to me, it completely makes sense that if there is cortisol and adrenaline in his body, that he will have a harder time settling down and bringing on sleep because his melatonin and his oxytocin is for sure not working the same way. It's being counteracted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I explain to you the why of how come when I am regulated entering bedtime, he has an easier time falling asleep. I already told you the scientific reason. Now, let's go back to the dynamic. So you say, hey, sometimes I do enter the bedtime not feeling regulated. That's of humans, and that's understandable considering that we have other things going on. Now, my invitation for you is, and this is where I'm going to challenge you, my challenge for you is to find a system to help yourself work on regulation, on nervous system regulation before you enter bedtime process with him. So let me give you an example. I understand when we come home late because my twins, they go to soccer, and their soccer games, I don't know why they're always at night, and we come at their past their bedtime. So yes, I do come with like, I need to get you in bed. But because I've known this, I don't start the bedtime process until I take care of myself. So even if they play with their Roblox and their Legos for a little bit, I still take time to do my nighttime routine, which is taking my makeup off and doing my skincare, doing things that help my nervous system be regulated to enter the process with them, even if it's late. Because regardless, I'm going to take time. Am I going to take time now regulating myself, helping myself so I can enter and have an easier time with them? Or am I going to take the time to enter right now, bedtime process, me not feeling regulated and still spending the same amount of time or more fighting with them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the question for you, Mariela, is during those times that you say like, hey, today we got home late because we were eating at a restaurant or whatever, how can you support yourself, or what's a little ritual that you can add before to help yourself before entering the bedtime process with your son?
Oh, did you ask me what I could do?
Yes.
Sorry, it cut out a little bit. Yeah, I think like, I mean, right now, I don't do much for myself because I feel like I don't have much time. I'm a single mom, so I feel like I'm always moving from task to task, right? It's like I got to maximize my time. But one of the things that I've started doing is that's really important to me is like, doesn't matter how late, is like you mentioned your nighttime routine of like putting on my lotions and my oils and stuff, and I really enjoy that, but I always do it after he's gone to bed. So maybe I do it before. That definitely puts me in kind of a more calm state, and it makes me feel better about myself because I actually like did something for myself.
Because think about this. The reason why you're raising up in the frustration is because you have competing needs. You want him to fall asleep so you can start taking care of yourself, right?
Yes, that is true.
So it makes sense to me why you end up that frustrating and yelling, not because you think that's why your son needs to calm down and fall asleep, but because you have pressing needs.
Yeah.
But if you take care of your needs, then that rush energy to get him to sleep so you can take care of yourself is not going to be there.
Yeah. That's so true. It is because of that, because I'm like, okay, like I gotta do this, like go to bed already.
Right. It's almost like, have you ever heard put your oxygen mask first?
Yes.
Because when we don't put our oxygen mask first, we cannot be effective helping our kids. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Let's just play it out. You come home late. Your son is kind of overstimulated from being in the car. He's going to need more time to settle down. But let's just say you already took care of your needs. You did your oils. You put the candle. Like, I literally go to my bathroom. I put the candle on, and they're still awake. And you already did your routine. Maybe you did a little tea or coffee, or I don't know what you do to help you calm down. And then you enter that bedtime process with your son, who's still a little riled up from the car ride and the lights and overstimulated. How do you see yourself in your nervous system? Like, how do you see yourself interacting with your son when your needs are already met?
I mean, I think a little more calm. I can see myself being a little more patient as far as like moving him, transitioning him from one task to the next. Like, I try to give him like a heads up. Like, he doesn't know minutes, but I always tell him 5 more minutes, and he knows that means we gotta like wrap it up. And so, I always say in 5 more minutes, and then it's time to get ready for bed. So, yeah, I see that. I see myself like, instead of just being like, okay, it's time for bed, like kind of giving him a little time to transition. Yeah, just a more calm state of mind. Maybe I even like clean the dishes before I.
Oh yeah.
In those 5 minutes that he's like still winding down after I gave him a heads up. Something else that kind of stresses me out is like, I gotta clean up.
Yes, and when am I gonna be done with you so I can clean up and be ready,
Yes.
be done with the day. I get it.
Yeah.
So Mariela, I want to tell you something that could be a shocker for you possibly, and for the people on the live. At bedtime, our goal is not to make them fall asleep, because that's out of our control. And that's
Yes.
why parents feel so out of control during bedtime, because they want to control the uncontrollable. You cannot control when somebody is going to have enough melatonin in their brain to fall asleep. You cannot. Our goal at bedtime is not to make them fall asleep. Our goal at bedtime is for them to feel connected, so their brains naturally produce oxytocin, which is the connection sleep hormone, and melatonin. When children feel connected, when children feel calm, they are able to fall asleep a lot faster. So that's the goal. When you enter bedtime today, remind yourself is I'm not going to make him fall asleep. My intention is for him to feel calm and connected. I don't know if he likes cuddles. I don't know if he likes tickles. I don't know if he likes, I don't know, deep squeezes. What does he like when it comes to connection?
We do a combo of those sometimes, and he loves it all. So we do deep squeezes, some tickles, reading, all of that. But that makes so much sense.
Because so far you've been doing that with the goal of get him to fall asleep. Now you're gonna do all that with the goal of just connecting with him. That's it. That's the only goal. And guess what's gonna happen? You are going to invite his melatonin and his oxytocin, and yours is gonna come in as well. And I say because sometimes my twins sleep me faster. Yesterday I woke up and I'm like, why am I still in his bed? Like I fell asleep before him.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you.
So let's go back to the intention for this time with me, Mariela. So we kind of went on a little ride of your initial intention is I want to know how can I diffuse his big meltdowns and tantrums so he can go to sleep. I am very curious about what you think now that you know what you know about your initial intention, and where did we land today?
I mean, I think that I need to diffuse my not diffuse, but I think I need to take care of myself, so that I can be in a calmer state, for sure, and not feel. I do feel defeated, like you mentioned about bedtime when he's not asleep yet. Mm-hmm. But there are times where he is calm and he's just laying in bed and he's not doing anything wrong. But to me, I'm like, his eyes aren't closed. Why isn't he asleep?
Okay. Wow.
So yeah. But I think it all stems from me, and I do know that he feeds off of my energy a lot. I do see that. So I think when he is having a big tantrum, as much as I think I'm being calm, I'm probably not, and he can sense my frustration. And so I think I just really need to figure out how to regulate myself, I think.
Mariela, that's exactly what we do in coaching. In coaching, we don't give you tips and strategies you get here in social media on how to deal with a tantrum, because that's common knowledge. In coaching, we help you navigate you. We help you navigate. We help you so you can help yourself navigate your own emotions, navigate your own arousal in your nervous system, meaning like you're getting up and down in your nervous system regulation. That's what we do in coaching. We help parents with the parents. And I have an invitation for you. We have our calendar open to book a one-on-one free parenting assessment call. So this is a free call with me or a member of my team. We are all parenting coaches and advisors. And on this call, we are going to assess your overall dynamic. So during this time with me, we only address the bedtime.
Yeah.
So I want to know what happens during the day. I want to know what happens in the morning. I want to know what happens so that makes you go to you not taking care of yourself and running on E at bedtime. Like, I want to know what's happening in your parenting so I can help you best. So I have an invitation for you and for all the people who are on this live. If you think you can benefit from this assessment call, it is not for advice, it's for you to gain clarity about your needs, about your dynamic. And of course, if you want to continue with coaching, we will sign you up as a client at the end. You can comment right now, help one. Right now, if you want, you can comment right now, help one. And we will send you a link to book your free one-on-one parenting assessment call. In there, we will show you our calendar. Our calendar has very limited spots. So if the calendar is full, we will let you know as well. It is full, and then we will contact you once the calendar is open again. But if you're able to book it, that will be amazing. And then you will leave with a lot of clarity. Possibly you could join us as a client as well if you feel that that's the route that you want to go to become the parent that you want to be for your son. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye.
Super eye-opening. Thank you.
That's great.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody. So I already helped 2 parents. If you want to have this kind of clarity that Marcela had about your particular dynamic, your particular needs, if you want to raise your children with a lot more peace, but it has been the opposite of peaceful in your home, comment help one, and we will send you our calendar to book your free one-on-one parent assessment call with one of our HIC parenting advisors. On that call, it is not that you're going to get advice or coaching. It's an evaluation call where you're going to gain clarity about your particular needs, your dynamic, what's keeping you from becoming the parent that you promised yourself you were going to be. And at the end, of course, if you want to keep the support and continue with us in coaching, we'll sign you up as a coaching client, or you could just have your assessment. And yes, so comment help one, and we will send you the link to book your free one-on-one parent assessment call with a member of our team. It is lunchtime, and I'm about to end the call and end this live. So this is what I want to tell you. Outside of this live, if you DM me the words help one, we will show you the link to our calendar. Our calendar has very limited availability because we are a small team. But if our calendar is full, we will let you know as well. If it is not full, then we will show you the options so you can book your one-on-one parent assessment call. So at any point outside of this live, you can DM me the words help one, and we will send you the link to our calendar. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I want to let you know that you're a great parent and that it only takes understanding of yourself as a parent and of your children's needs to transform your parenting. That's Parenting with Understanding. And I'll see you next time on our next parent support call. Bye.